That's right, everybody. It's finally time to show you my updated Halo Infinite controller settings. YouTube, what is going on? It is your favorite gamer here, Above Average Cody, coming at you with an updated controller settings video. So I did the very extensive and in-depth controller settings video that helped a ton of you out. You guys love the video, and a lot of you have been popping in the live streams to ask me what my controller settings are now, because I did make a few subtle changes since that video. So before we jump into that, guys, please go down below and watch that video if you don't fully understand the controller settings. This is just a quick little update on what I'm running, and I'll tell you why I'm running each of the settings. But in that video, I go over what each setting is and how to understand it better so you can find what works for you. So I will link all the helpful videos down in the description, including my controller ones, guys. I play on an Xbox Elite Series 1. I talk about my setups, my controller settings for the controller itself, all that good stuff, guys. A lot of good info here on the channel, so be sure to subscribe as well if you're into that kind of thing. Now, let's start talking about the settings. Now, we'll start with sensitivity and acceleration. Now, I am on look acceleration 4. I believe I was on 5 the first video we did on the Halo Infinite controller settings. Now, the reason I went down one is because 5 makes it move very fast. There's not much variation in how quickly the screen starts to move when you move the stick. Now, I went down 1 because for the finer aims and trying to move up from the body to hit the headshots and things like that, I found 4 just is a little bit better. I don't like anything lower than 4. I just felt like 4 was a little bit more comfortable than 5. Now, again, if you don't fully understand look acceleration, guys, please watch the long 13-minute controller settings video. I explain it very in-depth. A lot of people found it helpful, so you'll hopefully get better clarity if you see that. Now, as for horizontal and vertical, I believe I was very low, like on like 4.5 when I did that video. I have since gone up because I found anything below 4.5 is just way too slow, guys. You can't spin around. It's kind of a little bit harder to snap to enemies. So I found some comfort in 5.5 on the horizontal stick, which is your left to right. And then I run a 0.5 tick higher on the vertical for throwing grenades and things like that. I don't want too much variance between these two because then it just feels very weird and it's hard to adjust when you're looking up and down and left to right. So I do run 0.5 higher. You'll notice a lot of pros do that as well for the same reason. You know, you're snapping up to grapple, you're snapping down on the ground to throw grenades. Things like that are the reason you want a slightly higher vertical. But again, I wouldn't do it too much because it makes the aim stick feel very, very weird. Now let's move to zoom sensitivity. Leave it default, guys. It's the easiest way to get comfortable. I leave default 1 on every magnification. I will just show you that really quick. Just adjust to it. The sniper might feel a little slow, a little fast. Maybe you can make some slight adjustments to it. But personally, I leave everything default. It's just easier to get used to. And if you've been playing on default settings or you haven't changed the setting, you're probably already comfortable with it, and you're going to want to leave everything right where it is. Now, on to the dead zones and things like that. Now, I believe these are the same as the first video I did. It's going to come down to your controller and things like that. Again, guys, dead zone is explained very extensively in that first video. But briefly, you want this number as low as you can possibly get it without stick drift. For me, that's 8, and you'll even notice sometimes if I put my controller down, I still get a little bit of stick drift. This is an older controller. It is an Elite Series 1. It has been through tac sprint on Modern Warfare and things like that, guys. This thing has been through hell and back, for lack of a better phrase. So that's why my dead zone is so high. If you have a newer controller or a better conditioned one that you have not beaten on and played a lot of games on, you can easily get that number lower than 8. Now, the max input threshold, this one is very important for the move thumbstick, 15. You want it on 15. I don't care what people say they put it on. Put it on 15. That will get you the fastest strafe, and it will make the stick react the fastest to the tiniest movements on it. You will notice it instantly. You don't believe me? Set it to 0, move around. Set it to 15, move around. You will notice the difference, guys. I've tried this on 12. I've tried this on default. I've tried it on 0. I can confidently say 15 will give you the most responsive move stick for strafing and things like that. Now, axial covers your diagonals and how it responds, but you will notice in there it says the lower value feels more responsive. So I do run the axial on my move thumbstick at 0. I'm not gonna lie, I don't explain this very well in the first controller settings video. Axial is easily the most complicated one to describe. However, some people did clarify it for me in the comments. So again, that video is pretty much the tell-all on understanding. Now, finally, we have the look thumbstick. I can get a much lower dead zone because it's not as beaten up. Same rules apply. You want it the lowest value as possible without stick drift. So again, what I just said for the dead zone on the move goes for the look thumbstick, but I have not done as much work on destroying the look thumbstick, so I'm able to get a lower value. Again, if you guys have a brand new controller, you should be able to get it very close to 0 without having stick drift, which is where you want it. Now, the max input threshold I have on 0 for the look thumbstick because the lower value increases the variance in the acceleration curve, and this kind of goes on what I said about the look acceleration, guys. So basically, your fine movements, if you have the max input threshold up to 15, a tiny move of the thumbstick is going to make it move a lot. So I have it to 0 to increase the variance in the acceleration curve so that when I'm moving the thumbstick just a little tiny bit, it doesn't make the move cursor go crazy. And I do play with a raised stick, which is explained in my controller videos, which I will link in the description below. Axial, I leave it default for the look thumbstick because, again, it's just getting used to things, and I just find leaving it at 12 because, again, higher value reduces drift, and you want the look thumbstick to be very locked in and dialed in and not going all crazy. The move thumbstick you can kind of be a barbarian with. That's why you can kind of ride these extreme settings all the way up and all the way down. However, axial, again, it's the diagonal dead zones, really. I just leave it default at 12. I do not know why default is 12. I'm not the best at explaining axial dead zones. I'm perfectly fine with admitting my flaws there. But again, on that video, some people did offer some good clarity on the axial dead zones, but I do leave it default. So that's mainly all the important settings, I would say. So just to recap, look Excel 4, I run 0.5 higher on the vertical sensitivity than I do on the look. Leave all your scopes default. If that's what you've been running, just run whatever you're comfortable with. And then my dead zones, guys, this is an older controller. I plan on upgrading soon. Maybe I'll do an updated dead zones video when I do switch to a new controller so you guys can see what dead zones can run when you are on a brand spanking new controller. And then max input 15 on the move, guys. Do that. If you do not have that already, do it. Trust me. And then I leave it 0 on the look thumbstick. But that does it, guys. The biggest thing to remember, and please, if you take anything away from this video, take away what I'm about to say to you right now. Do what is comfortable. You guys can take my settings exactly and be like, oh, I'm playing just like above average Cody. No, guys, it might not be what works best for you. Play whatever is comfortable. If you're on the default settings and you love it and you don't think anything's wrong with it, guys, keep running it. You're going to play better on whatever is comfortable, whatever you adapt to. I will say the default settings on this game, it feels like you're aiming underwater. It really does. That's why I did an in-depth video on the controller settings. Everybody loved it. They thought it really helped. So here is the updated video, basically, of what my settings are, because a lot of people have been asking in the live streams. Guys, I do live stream 4 to 5 times a week on this game, so feel free to keep an eye out and check those out. I do leave them up on the channel a little bit past that. But guys, that does it for this video. Please subscribe down below. We are flooring it with subs. Everybody's been loving all the Halo content, so thank you guys for all the amazing feedback. Thank you for popping in the live streams. I appreciate you all very much, more than I can really put into words. Leave a like on this video, please. And guys, leave a comment. Let me know if it helped you out. Let me know what you think of my settings. Let me know what you guys like running for settings, because again, it's going to be different for everybody. Not even all the pros run the same settings. There's no cookie cut thing. I can just help you guys understand each of the settings and explain to you why I run what is comfortable for me. But guys, that does it for this video. Enough talking. Hopefully it helped you out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.